for the world. So
Okay.
upgraded Zoom account.
Everything is downgraded Zoom account, which mean. Right, so we're live. Whoa. I'm gonna put my name. So it's your man, Summer Man, aka DJ Flim Blam. And yeah, man. Immersive? What is that? We are back with Black Man Meat after a long hiatus. Featuring my man Noir King, King of the Ring, yada I mean. And yeah, we've been out for a minute, but we back up in it. And you know how that go. We here, we're doing the damn thing. And yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good. I've had a good break. How has your break, your hiatus been?
Uh, Pretty good to be honest. Honestly, a lot has happened since the last Black Man Meet. That's for sure. But
Mm,
persevering, making it work. Uh, you know, your boy, man. I don't know, Black Man Meet. If you know, your boy actually lost his old security job. But
mm,
you know, blessings in disguise. Uh, I actually got a nice little upgrade while I was away.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you
Your boy now has a power to arrest fools. You are like, what? Karate chop.
go. Hmm.
Don't do that though. That's terrible.
Right,
And,
and
and
hopefully you don't gotta arrest nobody. 'Cause,
that.
I used to work security too, and that was my thing. I'm like, look, I work this job, but I'm not really trying to roll up on nobody. I'm not really trying to, put limits on anybody unless I have to.
Big fact. Nah, man. My whole thing is very samurai. So I only use my shit to defend, never to attack. Like I will only ever defend myself because honestly, you should be able to talk yourself out of the situation. To be
Mm,
honest.
yeah, for the most part, in most situations you
Mhm.
could easily talk yourself out of, and a lot of people talk themselves into situations like that. You know,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that you got another opportunity. I'm glad that things are kind of looking up for you.
Always, man. Never down, never out. Always moving forward. I don't want to do security forever, mind you, but it's
Mm-hmm.
good to know that it's a good job. It is a good job to have. Let's put it like that. Like it is a
Yeah,
good job to have.
it's one of those jobs that's pretty much timeless,
Yep.
which is dope.
Been around since the 1800s, back when they used to pay Pinkertons $18 a day to guard stage coaches. Think about that. That's crazy. $18 a day, not an
That was bread.
hour.
That was a bread,
That
boy.
was you was making, man. That was enough for you. You could buy anything you wanted. You could buy a house in three. If you survive for 3 weeks, you could buy a house.
Mm-hmm. If you survive, and that's the thing, especially about that kind of work. You got to really be a soldier out there. You got to be out there busting. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no time to be asking questions and shit. So my partner asked in the chat. She asked, "How has the Black New Year treated you?"
Again, like I said, pretty decent. Aside from, well, honestly, it's pretty good. You know what? Like I said, I'm finally off the monkey farm, so I ain't mad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been good to me. I've seen some more financial opportunities come through, which is what I've been asking for in life. It's not always easy work, but it definitely is rewarding. When my bank account is shining, I'm like, all right, bro, we in here. We can do this. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
And so I'm with that. Other than that, I've just been chill. I've really been focusing on self care, making sure that mentally and emotionally I'm cool. I think there's with the internet, people spend so much time online. People spend so much time looking at what everybody else is doing and commenting and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I don't even want to be a part of this, Because to me, the conversations that they're having aren't really going anywhere. You know,
Nope.
there's not solutions. There's no being proactive about it. It's all reactionary. It's all like if you just took a bunch of words, wrote him down and threw him in a well. You know, that's that's what I see. Okay, she wants to know, what has the Black New Year taught you? Actually, what has the Black New Year
Nothing.
taught you? Uh, right.
Fair. Next question. I'm kidding. But no, honestly, it's been chilling. Like we look, another year, another year being black. Kane said it best. I don't care if I'm here or Atlanta. I'm still gonna be a nigga in America. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Also, shout out to random shout out. Shout out to Cartoon Network for the show Primal. If you've never seen Primal, that shit was lit, right? And it had a solid act.
Okay. That's one of those shows I wanted to look into myself.
Yeah, It was the people who made Samurai Jack had the inspirations in the show, so it was dope, and it was one of those, like, they didn't really talk. That's what's so interesting about it, like, because he was a Neanderthal, like, he literally does not have that ability to talk to no one's phone. It's really cool. Like that show is dope. Primal was sick. Yeah, no. New year, new me, all that BS. I don't know. I've been working out more, kind of getting a little bit on the muscle. I'm out there and messing on knees up one day. Monday, Saturdays, if I'm not working. I'm working Saturdays now.
That sucks, man. Sucks.
Yeah, it does, especially because where I'm working at now, it is insane. Man, just to put this into context, so I work First Friday. Where I work at Telegraph, that's where the whole shit goes down, right? And at Taco Bell, man, before I even got in this month, y'all probably wondering why I just told y'all where I work. Well, I'm signed an NDA for this company, so I can pretty much tell you anything I want. Insane. It'll make you sign an NDA. But anyways.
Wait, you work for Taco Bell?
No, I don't work for Taco Bell. I work for a third party. No, I work for third party. No.
Wait, no, at Taco Bell is what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about too.
Of course. It's the only one. It's the only fast food place it's the only drive-thru in all of, like, downtown, right?
It is. It really is.
Crazy.
Crazy.
It is. Anyways, so yeah, I work there now, and it's cool. But that first Friday, man, boy, I'm telling you, I knew shit was going down bad when before I even start the day, or before as I'm leaving, before first Friday even start, some people roll up, and this chick was like, hey yo, check this out. We need your spot right now for security. And I'm like, okay. I just got here today, right now, so I never met you before, and you yelling orders at me like I work for you. I don't understand. And it was crazy because then she was like, yo, I need to go inside and see the manager. I need to talk to the manager. I was like, for sure, you go around the thing and talk to the manager like everybody else. Man, she went around there, she came back, she cussed some random ass dude out, and then she got hella mad. She was like, they ain't letting us back up in that motherfucker. I'm like, there's nobody in this motherfucker, man. Nobody. It's not just you. It's not me, it's just everybody. But it's just crazy that and this is, again, Black people. Okay. This rolls into what we're gonna talk about today. The difference between Black men, successful Black men, and successful niggas. Crazy shit. But I felt like we should bring this topic up as we are in the coming days of Black history. And I don't know if you guys have been following the news right now, but that whole YSL case, crazy, man. That is the craziest shit I didn't see in a minute. I don't know if you heard about that. Man.
I'm in hip hop realm. I gotta kind of know about these things. You're YSL, man.
Yeah. And what's so interesting about this case is, dude had so this man, Young Gun, had a interview where Gunna and the other, what was the leader?
The leader is Young Thug.
Young Thug, thank you. So Young Thug, Gunna, and a couple other ones, they were on a podcast, and dude was like, "Hey, yo, check this out, man. Y'all gotta understand, there's a difference between the street shit and this rap shit. And if you want to do the street shit, that's cool, but you gotta keep it on the street. Because the moment that you try and come over here and do this rap shit, and then try to prove yourself on the street shit, you gonna get caught up. Because this is a whole different type of game out here, bruh. And they is not playing for keep. They's playing for body." And dude was like, "It's cool, bro." He was like, "You say that, but in 5 years, when I'm sitting there reading in the paper how, Young Thug is sitting in prison and you ain't got no money, no bands, no bitches, no nothing. And you sitting there watching other niggas thrive off your success. You gonna wish you would have took a different path." And I'm like, damn, nigga.
I mean,
that's real.
Nah, you're right. You're right. My question is, what is a different path, man? What is really a different path for these people? Because to me,
look at
in the hip hop world, it's like nobody really gets on unless you already got money. You got to get lucky and get somebody to invest in you, or you got to have some kind of lucrative business that you already got going that you can use your money to invest with. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if your business is hustling street money to get in the game, then what you gonna do to sustain yourself?
Facts. But see, that's why artists like Kendrick Lamar, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, these artists are so important. And I don't think, like, I didn't realize, I don't want to say realize, but I never really took the time to understand how much they truly helped hip hop by turning their image around. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but Snoop Dogg was all about pimping and drinking and smoking and fucking bitches in all of his songs. Matter of fact, Doggy
he
Style
still is, dog.
He did turn down a lot. He turned down a lot of the shit. And that's after, as we all know, he got caught up in that fucking case. And then his whole shit had to turn that whole shit around for a minute, like, almost went to jail over somebody else's bullshit. Okay, all right. Let me slow down for a minute. Look at Puffy Combs. Okay, look at Kendrick Lamar. Okay, look at fucking Jay-Z. Okay, all these dudes in the street for the most part. Look at 50 Cent. I mean, there's a prime example of somebody who was like, all right, I'm not gonna do this no more. I got blasted. Right. I'm out. I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna go be a rapper. Mm-hmm. And became super successful off of it too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is a fine line, but at the same time, you have to know what it is that you are getting in the game for. Like characters like 6ix9ine, man, there is another prime example of somebody who just shouldn't have blown up the way he did, but he did. Right? Because people was like, well, he really out there in the street doing that street shit. And there it is again. The difference between a street nigga and a rap nigga. 6ix9ine was a rap nigga. And then not a rapper. But you know what I mean? He was not street like that. But he tried to be.
Right. He was faking the funk. And people knew he was a rap. People knew he wasn't shit. And they still fucking followed him. And they still follow him to this day. Even after he already snitched. Same way the niggas still gonna buy Gunna albums. You know what I'm saying? Even though Gunna essentially snitched on YSL. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. But to be fair though, Gunna was caught up. Almost not as bad as Young Thug. And see, that's the thing that people don't understand, man. I didn't understand that. I thought Gunna was the main reason why they were fucked up, but nah, fucking Young Thug.
I mean, Gunna is apparently not doing anything. I mean, allegedly, they say that YSL is a criminal organization, right? And that they're doing all this RICO kind of stuff, allegedly. And they trying to tie YSL to Young Slime life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is some kind of gang that they say, allegedly.
But see, here's the thing. I would not want to be how can I put this? I would want to say that I believe that YSL is not a criminal organization, except that YSL members were caught calling inmates in prison and getting phone calls from inmates in prison. So they basically snitched on themselves. And you can hear the recordings for yourself. They're public. They'll become public soon. But if they're not already, because I think they already did the first deposition, so therefore the records to be public now. But you can hear them, and dudes blatantly like, "Yeah, man, we ordered the hit, we got them. And, you know, we about to go meet up at X, Y, and Z spot." And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, "Nah, this can't be real. Like, this can't be real. Like, somebody over here faking the funk, bro. You cannot tell me that somebody out here who is worth as much as this moment, as Young Thug, who was as popular as Young Thug was at his peak, is gonna make a phone call and get himself recorded calling somebody in prison about a hit. You can't make that shit up."
I mean, that's true, but you gotta really think about the rap game, and you gotta think about where the rap game comes from. The rap game comes from the streets, and niggas doing street shit to get it in. I was just teaching a rap class, right? And I was telling them about when people got turntables. The only reason that people were able to get turntables is because of the riots in New York, right?
Yep.
And then when everything was burning, when everybody was rioting, they attacked the record store. And they all just found all these turntables from wherever the fuck, and they stole them shits. You know?
Yeah.
They stole them shits, they took them back home, and then they made, you know, music careers with them, essentially, right? And it's like, in this country of America, for me, this brings up a bigger question. What is and who are the real criminals? You know what I'm saying? Because when you think about it, all of these big businesses and all of these, you know, wealthy people, they're all committing crimes all the time. Okay? I know some schools who are doing some illegal business, but they still want to be all uptight and, you know, firm about all this other stuff they're doing. I'm like, how on one hand are you going to be like hard on crime and certain kind of activity and then also be a criminal? You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, think about Phoenix Jones, a prime example, and he was a black man too. Prime example, bruh. Phoenix Jones' whole thing was, "I'm gonna make a stance on crime. I'm gonna be a crime fighter. I want to fight the drugs in my community." While this motherfucker was actually dealing drugs to the community. Like,
right.
You can't make this shit up.
And I mean, COINTELPRO, the crack epidemic. Again, I was teaching these kids, and I'm like, they came through. The literal government came through, created crack first of all, then gave the recipe to Rick Ross and told him to sell it, right? And then they arrested him. The thing that they told him to do with the stuff that they gave him, right?
Yep.
So it's like
just to silence him. Just to silence him, though.
Just to silence him. Just to silence him. When if he would have said no in the first place, they would have did the same thing. They was gonna arrest him anyways. You know, they forced him into this, and then they fucking arrest him. Then 20, 30 years later, some nigga uses his name and his entire story to make a rap career off of. Oh, what? Yep. 10 minutes, yo. I gotta upgrade the pro. Next, I mean, maybe I can like close the meeting and then open it back or something like that.
So they forcing you to upgrade?
Yeah, I'm not gonna upgrade, man. I'm going. What is a wood is a way. What is a wood is a way.
No. Oh yeah, that is insane. How are they gonna force you to upgrade?
Within 40 minutes of time. But yeah.
Oh.
This question, man, that's like, in this country, right? I know what's illegal and I know what's not illegal, but also, what is really moral in the country that we're dealing with? The government is immoral. You know what I'm saying? What is really ethical? And the government itself is unethical. Lies, hides things, right? Kills people, puts people in jail who don't belong in jail, right? Doesn't bring them out, right? All these things that they say like Rico shit, they literally do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is selling the guns to the Mexican cartel? It's fucking us. You know, it's us. It's us, right? Who creates all these proxy wars in other countries? Us. Who the fuck takes out dictators that we put in the first place. Us, right? If that's not a gangster, I don't know what is, man. And so it's like,
You know what?
they want to turn into a business. They want to be able to do it. Then they don't want us to be able to do it.
Of course not. You do it, and that makes you powerful. You know what's crazy, man? I didn't know this, but I found this out. After World War One, the reason why the U.S. is so like, we kind of do everything, is because after World War One, with the demand for oil for tanks and guns, gunpowder, things like that, the U.S. realized that with its mass production facilities, it would be able to capitalize on a loophole. So I went down to Saudi Arabia. They created some treaties with the Saudis, and they basically we as America protect Saudi Arabia for the rest of its existence, as long as America is able to first get premium oil rights, and two, make sure that nobody else in the world can basically fuck with Saudi Arabia. Like,
exactly.
If you are from like India or Pakistan or something, or not even Pakistan, if you're from India or Pakistan and you try to go to Saudi Arabia and be like, hey, we need to make an oil deal, you got to go ask the U.S. first. And if the U.S. says it's okay, then we can deal with you. And you have to deal with us in U.S. currency only. That's many. Like, imagine that. So if you were the U.S., right, and you said, okay, I don't know, like,
I was like, hey, Nora King, bro, you could play video games, but you can only play with me. You're gonna play with somebody else. You got to make sure that they ask me, and they play only games that I allow.
And you got to use my energy, bro. You can only use my outlet. You can't use no other outlet.
And my outlets cost every time you use them. I mean, if that's your government, bro, you might as well get a RICO case.
Yeah. And see, in this system is what makes you think, how did we get here? Like, it's so crazy to think that all these other countries, like South America, a question that always pondered my mind: why did Mexico not become as powerful as the U.S.? Because they were at one point up there with us, like pretty hardcore when it came to production. But the Mexican government outlawed slavery 40, what was it, like, not 40, yeah, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So 200 years before the U.S. did it, Mexico did it. And because they outlawed slavery, it slowed down production to the point where they were not able to keep up with the U.S., who was still using slaves.
Exactly.
And they literally we black people just outpaced everybody else when it came to production. And that was it. And farming, and basically everything that you needed to run and sustain a country, we did it better than everybody else. And I think what people just don't understand is that when we watch nature shows about Africa, they only show you the fucking Sierra and like the Serengeti and like the desert, and like, this is what Africa is. It's just nothing but barren, like 5 villages that spread out in the middle of ass fuck nowhere. This is what Africa is. But they have to struggle. First off, no, Africa is a rich, fertile, and very lucrative land. Amazing plot of land, where literally you could live off in the middle of nowhere and survive off just the roots and shit in the ground like that. Africa is legit, but they make it seem like it's not. So when we came over here, like Summer Man has mentioned before, we had all this agricultural knowledge that white people just didn't have, because they did not have to farm in a way that we have to farm. Like, it's different, because in Europe they had fields, but they didn't have like real earth fields. It was more like rocky shit. It was very rocky, very cold.
The terrain and the weather is different. It's not really good for growing a lot of stuff, especially like a lot of like summer fruits and vegetables that we get in Africa, and then we also get here in America.
Yes, and in America,
and they also took the techniques from the indigenous people who were here, right? Like corn, all the shit that they do with corn, they took from the indigenous people. It was like, oh, y'all use corn like this and this and this. Oh wow, that's great. We'll take that.
You guys make maize? I've never heard of maize before. We about to do that shit right now.
It's like, we'll take that, but y'all gotta go. They're like, hey bro, We're gonna sign
Facts.
this treaty. You live over there, we live over here, we live in harmony, it's all good. 2 weeks later, they're like, hey bro, I know we got a treaty, but y'all gotta go.
See, what it was that everything was cool until it came down to that Sunday, and they was like, "Hey, it's time to go to church." So what? You got to go to church with us? Nah, bro. We worship the moon and the sun.
And it was like, we can't get jiggy with that. Our God told us to kill anybody who worships up the moon and the sun.
Facts.
It's like, what?
Then
Your
before
God told
you know
you
it,
to do what?
and see, this is the thing that I think really set the tone for religion, because white people back in the day had the majority of the power and they had the guns, so they were able to
They still do,
vastly
man.
influence, back, vastly influence everyone else through fear and subjugation, kind of like the Inquisition, but like in reverse. Instead of us trying to force you to be Christians, no, we're just gonna kill you outright because God told us to. Like, and they told other people to do that. Like, that's crazy. And then at one point, they was offering heads. Like, if you brought back a
Yeah,
confirmed
scalps.
Negro ankle scout, like scouts for Indians and confirmed ankles for Negroes, nigga, you good. You making it. Like, if you found a slave ankle, like a slave or whatever, and you killed him, you brought back his like wrist or ankle, and they was like, oh yeah, this was you killed yourself some good ones. You got some runaways. You getting paid for that. That's
You getting
insane.
bread, bro.
Like,
You getting breaded up.
bread.
And it's like at the end of the day,
Facts.
some niggas' morality is at the flip of a dollar, flip of a coin, man. And they knew that, and they used that for their means. And so my question is, if the niggas that you dealing with are dishonorable, are thieves, all right, what is the reason for us to be honorable with them? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you gotta like. That's a good question, because when you think about it, what really is honor? I mean, the samurai believed that honor was serving your lord. Absolutely. The fucking knights of old believed that honor was being able to step forward into a duel, draw your sword, and not back down from a fight. Right? Where old school African tribes believed that honor was sparing their enemies and only driving them from their land and not actually taking life. So I mean, these are things that you gotta ask yourself, like, who determines what honor truly is? Because again, the English, they only use knights in of old only use honor as a way to fuck your bitch. Samurais
Right.
only use honor as
FUCK.
a way to back. Only use honor as a way to chop your arms off. Because they was like, yo, check this out. I got this new sword. I see you over there. I'm gonna go ahead and just, well, bam, cool. It works. I'm out. And that was that was like life. And I'm like, hmm. And then again in Africa, it was mass enslavement, because other, like, until Shaka Zulu, there was not real execution of people in Africa. It was just fights, and then either you left or the losers would be enslaved to the winning village or whatever. But it wasn't really that bad.
Okay, y'all excuse us. And just open up a new Zoom meeting. The Zoom selling right now. Zoom is selling hotcakes. Hotcakes and lattes. I'll get my man back in here. Yeah, man, all that shit. Black New Year taught me to be more black than ever. It reminded me I'm not going back and forth with these niggas. Okay, he should be on the way. Sent him the thing. Sorry about the technical inconveniences, folks. Y'all know how that be. Okay, he seen the message. He liked it. We should see him returning soon. You know what I say, man. Where there's a will, there's a way. make things happen every day. You feel me? It's a lot going on in this world. And I don't always have the answers for people. I never will claim to.
All right. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, so you're saying?
Well, right. So Dr. Zulu kind of changed that and changed the face of African warfare and also changed the face of African honor because now it became honorable to utterly destroy your enemy. You know what I'm saying? So like, I like the idea of honor, but it really depends on who the leader is. That I think that's what really like whoever is the most powerful is that who sets the idea of honor. That
Mm-hmm. Right. You know, they say the prize goes to the victor. They say no honor among thieves. We're dealing with thieves, man. They're literal thieves. They've stolen ideas. They steal people. They steal work to this day. They don't give credit. And they don't go back and they don't make it right. Especially with us. Right?
fact.
They're literally doing the same things that we're doing. They're doing RICO. The government is doing RICO. But it's not illegal when they do it. It is illegal when we do it. So what is the real issue here at play? That RICO is being done or that they're not in control of it?
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that they created RICO. Like, you guys created the crime that you are trying to get other people for, right? Which, again, here, let me ask you another question, right? Do you know why the mob even formed in the first place?
To protect the communities from the government.
Exactly. The mobs and the gangs, the street gangs, the original idea, right, was to protect the local neighborhoods from the government and also from, outside threats, such as the KKK. And that was, honestly, that was like the number one thing besides the government that people was really like trying to fuck with it. And also because of the disproportionate way that America's job situation was set up, they had to do something like, or literally, if you weren't white, you were not getting a job, and that was crazy. And at one point, if you weren't white, and if you weren't white or you weren't black, you were not getting a job at all. Like, period, nigga. The only thing you about to do is be a busboy or like a garbage man if you are lucky. Like, that shit was real. But luckily times became more lenient. People got angry, and shit changed. So thank God that happened, because I don't know what I would do in a world where my only option in life was, hey, so guess what? You can only work construction or be a mechanic. That's it. You can't be a plumber, because being a plumber means you got to go inside white people's houses, and that is not something that you're allowed to do. And I'd be like, goddamn.
Right.
But that's the world we almost lived in.
Man, that's the world we did live in.
Facts. Actually, you're right. No, let me take that back. That is the world we did live in. I rescind that last statement. You are correct.
We was there, and we was there not that long ago. Like, I already knew it was not too long ago, but then when my dad told me he was in a segregated school, I was like, oh no.
Hey man, I told
That's
you the
way too
last
recent,
recorded,
dog.
the last slave was freed in 1986 in Georgia.
Right.
Nigga.
It's like man, what are we supposed to do with these niggas, man? What are we supposed to do with these
But
stealing ass,
what
criminal ass niggas, man?
what do you say to those people though who are so indoctrinated that they can't do shit? Like that dude that still lives on his plantation. He was like, yeah, I live on the plantation that my great grandfather still lived on. I still live in that same space. Like I don't have nothing. I'm like, bro, it's a 20. Like nigga, we are in the year 19. What was it? Like I think that aired. Yeah. It was like 2004. I'm like, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
I probably got this footage like 4 or 5 years ago, dog. He was free a long time ago, man.
A long time
But
ago.
he just never got free of here, and that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane.
I agree. Well, I say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know, you gotta open up the pathway for people. They gotta make their choice whether they want to take it or not. But we as people, we gotta move. It's like that game we just playing, right? Sometimes, you know, niggas get left behind. You gotta go. All right, you gotta fucking go if you want to win, or you can all sit there and lose together. And I, for one, I'm not trying to be on a losing party. You feel me? And it's just like
I want to make it.
I'm all for saving people, right? However, on a personal level, I feel like I'm not necessarily the one to do the saving. I don't want to be on that side of the field. I want to be on the side of the field that's in the front of progression, personally. You know what I'm saying? If people want to go back and they want to do that, they could do that. That could be their role. But myself, I'm focused on the people who are at the front and taking care of the people who are at the front. You feel me?
Some of us must allocate our people. Everybody got priorities, and not everybody can be that person who is secular, who comes through, who has that patience to talk to everybody on that type of level. And I get that. I don't want to be that person. I know that.
Right. And I feel
not
like
every day.
we need more people like mapping this blueprint out for what we're actually going to do next as a people. Right? Because this Rico case is really fucked up with YSL. Excuse me. I wish that they weren't involved in that kind of business. And I hope that, you know, whatever happens, that they're found not guilty. All right. And I'm just sad that they feel like they got to be in this kind of business. And I'm sad that in real life, these are the kind of businesses that we actually have to do in order to be able to get on. Because if you think about, again, some of these people we talked about, Jay-Z had money from the game. So did 50 Cent, right?
Yep.
Who jumped all these niggas off? Easy fucking E. Without Easy E, there's no Ice Cube, there's no Dr. Dre, there's no fucking Tupac, there's there's no DOC, bro, there's no Snoop Dogg, there's no fucking oh my god, what is this nigga's name? I'm totally blanking on his name. Bald head nigga, head of Death Row. No, man.
No, Suge Knight.
Suge Knight. There's no fucking Suge Knight without Easy E. Okay? And Easy E's money and Easy E's connections, right? Easy E's the one who's able to make the deal with Jerry Lawler, whatever the fuck his name was. But he already had money because he put up some of his own money from his street activities, right? Along with Homeboy to produce their first album. And that's what got Dre on, right? And that's what inspired Suge to get on, because this nigga was a fucking bouncer. You know? And again, Suge is a real street nigga doing real street shit at the same time that they was doing stuff, and that's how they was able to get their money, right? And that's how they operated, and that's how they, you know, they ran their business. And I feel like really in hip hop, that's a big part of it. Another one, Top Dog. All right, where did Top get his money from, man? Same shit, fucking shit. Whack 100, same fucking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Rickety Ross.
Ricky
Ricky
Ross,
Ross.
Rick Ross making money off this nigga's name, dog. Making this
I
off this
mean,
nigga's.
here's some
Go ahead.
facts. He was also a correctional officer
He
too.
was. He was, and so I'm sure he's very familiar with the story. The stories like that, you know what I'm saying? They
Pass around all day.
exactly all day. Like niggas ain't got shit else to do but
Mm-hmm.
talk about that shit. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man, you wanna know an interesting one too? Like, and here's something interesting too. Somebody once told me, Drake writes his music. This is, I know it's kind of off topic, but it's just something that also ties into this. And I'm like, okay, look, I'm not gonna sit here and claim that I'm some super gangster nigga who was running around here moving like kilos of weight. No, but at the same time, you could tell from a mile away that the only gangster that Drake had ever been doing in his life was on fucking GTA, dog. Like, who was that one dude? Who was that other kid who just like 2 years ago, I think, lost his fucking career? They found out he was talking about GTA and not actual.
Oh yeah.
not actual.
Why be in the mirror?
Yeah, the mirror. Oh man, and I'm not dissing this kid in any way because I don't listen to his music, so I can't sit here and be like, yeah, his music was crap. I don't know. I never listened to it. Only heard his story, and I think that shit is just hella funny. And that other dude who was like, yeah, I ain't never been to Paris. He did that interview. Oh man, he had
you talking about
like
Lil Yachty or something?
No, not Yachty. Holy or something like that.
Poland.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a good song.
I don't know anything. But I know Yachty was like, nah, bro, I was just a kid in my fucking like college putting beats together and shit, and then you feel me, it just happened to be fucking awesome, and then I just made money off of it. So
right,
I guess.
But that nigga was swiping though. That nigga was straight swiping. Right? Yachty was swiping.
He was.
He all these niggas. None of these niggas get on. Right, except for maybe a few little, little bits of them get on without doing something illegal somewhere. Not one of them.
That is also that is true. That is very true. That is very, very true. SoundCloud kind of changed it a little bit.
Even these niggas, man. Even these niggas, like some of these SoundCloud rappers, yeah, they might just get off the steam, but a lot of them, again, like Yachty, so he's one of those SoundCloud rappers. Nigga was swiping. You know what I'm saying? Fucking same thing with with All Black Everything, Trinidad James. He's out there pulling them IDs, and it's just like in the hood. Savage. 21 Savage, right? 21 Savage, same kind of thing. You know, and a lot of these people, they do stuff that you wouldn't even like think about them doing, but that's the kind of business that hip hop has been. That's what's ran hip hop, right? It's literal gangsters, literal gang members who started hip hop as we know it today. Literal gang members, they're the ones who started it, right? And they're like, hey, bro, we're gonna have this party, and if anybody gets too rowdy, we're gonna beat your ass. Right?
Hey, but that's how it used to be. I mean, shit. Rick James famously would be told, you can't smoke, or we gonna call the cops. And he was like, yo, we gonna get up out on this stage, we gonna light these motherfucking J's. And then, as soon as somebody would even think to do something, he'd be like, hey, check this out. If anybody come up on here and tell us that we can't smoke, I want everybody in the fucking crowd right now to tear this place to fucking pieces. Fuck it up. And they'd be like, fuck yeah! I'm like, see that right there? That's insane. That is insane.
Man, that sounds like people power to me, dog.
Facts. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, if you play your cards right, you really could just be up in there and really be doing it though, like superstar status. Mm-hmm. But so many of these artists nowadays, you feel me? Like he said, you try to live the life that you have in these songs. Why? Like, why, bro? Like, if you talking about past tense, I get it. But like, you talking about shit that ain't never happened that you trying to get into, like, no, bro. And then like Doom, when I think about this YSL case, I think about that song that MF Doom did, Bad Snitches. Because I mean, the judge and then was going through their lyrics. Like, did you write the lyrics? Fuck the judge. And I ain't never get caught, or what do you say? I don't have bodies, but I know I know I have a body. I ain't never killed nobody, but I got details on bodies. And I'm like, yeah, see, that's stupid. Because
Yeah, right.
all your rap lyrics that you do are all admissible in court. They are not inadmissible, bro. Like that
Yeah,
shit is
not
public.
currently. But that I think that's why this case is so big, is because they're trying to get those to be inadmissible in court. Like, oh, rap is a persona. I'm like, take it as a persona, man. But my thing is, if you really did the shit, don't rap about it, bro. Rap about some other shit.
No,
Rap about some shit that you ain't never did. Rap about some fantasy shit, bro. If you really like that, no. And
Bag.
I learned this from the OGs. I was talking to motherfucking DMC, right? Daryl McDaniels, talking to DMC, Daryl McDaniels, and he was saying, like, we never rapped about like drugs and stuff. We never rapped about hoes. We never rapped about all the stuff that we did behind the scenes. Not that we didn't do those things. That's not what our raps was about. That's not what our image was about, right? And you listen back to Run DMC, you don't hear him talk about drugs. You don't hear him talk about hoes. You don't hear him talk about none of that kind of stuff. I mean, that they wasn't getting into, you know what I'm saying, what they was getting into, but their real life was actually separate from their music life. And now too many times I feel like the music and the real life, they're not separate. And it's like you rapping about these things, you are a rap snitch. You're indicting yourself, dog. You just wrote your own case on paper.
And that is what is so insane about it. It's like you had it in one of the people in the case, they was like, did you not, the judge was like, did you not write the lyric, I am robbing women. This is me robbing women. Like literally verbatim. He was like, yeah. Like, bruh. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. I know y'all talk, I know like some of the trap music out there, it be a little bit too on the money. Okay. Even some lawyers was like, yeah, some of these rappers who do this trap music, they should probably think about that, because if you ever get arrested, boy, it's gonna be
There's
bad.
Too many damn details in your shit, man. Too many damn details. Like Bobby Shmurda is supposed to keep it on the shh, but snitched on himself bad as fuck and got arrested straight up. That should have told niggas, like, if this is really a part of your case, bro, don't do it.
Don't talk about it.
Talk about it. Don't talk about it. If you really did shit, you got bodies. If you know the details on bodies, nigga, don't let niggas know you know details on bodies. I don't know. I don't got no bodies. I don't know no details on nobodies. Don't ask me about nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. All it takes is one phone call, one bad fight, one anything, bro, and that's your whole life down the drain. Because even if you just playing around with somebody and you fucking around and they go tell the cops, like, hey man, I think this dude got bodies. That's it. That's the rest of your life. The cops is gonna be looking at you forever.
Funny forever.
Forever.
Like, what is this nigga doing, man?
Bro, facts. Like, what is he really doing?
Right, they gonna start fucking tracking your shit. They gonna start keeping tabs on you and shit. All that, because they got the technology, right? And they already using it, but there's like niggas get put up on high alert. It's like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Why YSL, you say? Right.
Mm-hmm. And the DA was like, my number one task was to take them down, because it is a slap in the face to law enforcement for you to sit up in here and blatantly flaunt that you are a criminal in our face. And I was like, as much as I hate her for saying that, she's right. Like, y'all got a job to do. Like, that's the other thing I think that rappers and these guys, these celebrities and stuff, they tend to forget. Like, yo, you didn't become a police officer to sit around here and let the crime happen. Like, you didn't get up to DA level and be like, it is what it is. Like, nah, bro. Like, I know there are a lot of corrupt DAs. I'm not saying that every DA out there in the world is like, yeah, I stand totally 100% for justice and will never take a bribe. No. There's tons of cases of judges who, like, God, so crazy. Think what these dudes will do for money. But it's like you say, man, it blows my mind that these kids will do this and then get mad. Like, why am I caught? Like,
you caught yourself, man. Watch yourself.
Facts.
First rule of the game: stop snitching. Okay, stop snitching on your motherfucking self. I didn't do it. I don't know about it. I wasn't there. I didn't hear anything about anything. Don't ask me.
I don't know nothing about nothing ever. That's to be my favorite one. They're like, yeah, so did you see? Nah, I don't see nothing.
I don't see nothing,
Only
dog.
time I deserve respect,
I was in the
I
house.
don't deserve any support. Nothing, exactly. That shit made me, bruh.
Yeah, that shit is mania, bro. I feel sad for him. To be honest, I feel
I
sad
do
for him. I
too.
feel
Like, to
bad for
be
him.
honest with you, yes. Because these are kids who made it and then they fucked it up. Like, how do you do that? Like, man, you got more money than most kids in your neighborhood will ever have in ever. You got influence, globally influence. All you have to do is keep making music. You can have a cool band of people. You can even pull your friends on from the old days, bro, if you really want to. But damn,
No,
nigga.
no money, no problems, man. You got this
Facts.
lifestyle now. How do you keep up this lifestyle? Because there's not really that much music or that much money in the music industry, and the music industry is shifting. And where the money is at is shifting because it's not in the music. These niggas, they produce albums for free all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I feel like Metro Boomin, his shit was like on SoundCloud or something. I'm like, you ain't even making streams off that. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole album with every rapper or every trap rapper under the sun, and this shit's on SoundCloud. I'm just like, bro, all right, but that's
would hurt.
Man, I'm telling you, but that's not where the music is being made. Just so they gotta follow the rules. And I feel like the amount of money that's being made in music is less and less every year, and the amount of artists that can really be sustained by it is less and less every year. And I feel like not at the beginning, but like 50s, 60s, 70s, right? Not a whole lot of artists were eating a lot, but there'd be some standouts. Boom, boom, boom. You get a hit song, you get a hit song, you get a hit song, right? But there wasn't a lot of longevity, right? And so you just heard artists here today, going tomorrow. They just ate off that one song, and that was it. That was a big check. They had to do whatever the fuck they had to do with it to keep it going. Then there was a period, early 2000s until, maybe 2015, where there's a lot of artists. A lot of artists were able to eat, things was popping, it was all good, Now I feel like there's a lot more artists, right? But not a lot of them are reaching like that big plateau, right?
Okay.
Like, there's 50 billion artists out there, but how many of them are like at the top 5%? You know what I'm saying? 10%, 15, 20% of the rap game, making 20% of the money, or making 30, 40, 50% of the money, right? Whereas the rest of them are still struggling, just trying to get, their basic needs met as artists.
I mean, think about this though, if you will. The top performer right now in the world is not a rap act.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, and he is not a rapper, he's a pop star. So,
that's where money's going.
Yep, and if here's something else that's interesting, that man makes so much money, right? And you gotta ask yourself, well, why aren't any black artists doing that? Why aren't we making it like that? When we've outpaced rock and roll. we pretty much buried heavy metal. So why are we making Bad Bunny numbers?
Because we're not marketable in the same way.
No, we're not. And again, when in the early 90s, in the mid 2000s, I'd say rap music was very heavily catered towards suburban white kids. Mm-hmm. Then it became more like with trap music, it became more our music again, because white kids didn't really want to listen to that type of shit. They didn't want to hear that. Like, they thought it was cool, I guess, but in their minds, I don't think they really caught like early gangster rap. I think what it was that made it set so well was that it was a story. It was a fantasy. It was presented to you as like, hey, my name is Jamal, and I'm about to tell you about how I live while I walk through the mall or some bullshit like that. You feel me? the trap music is like, nah, nigga, this is me.
Right, this is my
Me
actual
who
life
is me
doing it.
right now in real life, going to this nigga's house, back, going to this nigga's house and blasting them with AK. Dear God, Timothy, I don't want you listening to that type of music. And that, so like, and again, we don't give, I don't want to say our people enough credit, but it's hard in the music industry to give our people enough credit, if that makes sense. You know? Because like Richard Pryor said, if all the churches, minority churches in the world put together and they all donated to one source, it would not have as much as one rich white person.
Right.
And I'm like, facts though. Like that's a joke and it's supposed to be funny, but that's not funny. That's real though. That's like real life.
Right. They say that all the black people in America, you know, our combined income or whatever is like $1 trillion, right? Our combined spend is like $1 trillion a year. This nigga fucking, what is this nigga off Amazon? Bezos, Jeff Bezos? Nigga's a trillionaire. Nigga is a trillionaire. This nigga makes more money than all black people in America spend combined. One nigga. Like,
think about that.
Blown. Mind fucking blown.
You know, it's funny. Fact. It's funny you say that because somebody told me the other day, like, do you think crypto would ever take over? And I'm like, here's the problem with that. Rich people really like to see their money. And places like Walmart, Target, Safeway, Albertsons, you know, Dollar Mart, all that shit, they need you to have physical dollars because poor people, I don't care how much you try and give them a phone, they're never going to do it. There's people in the South who will literally never use technology ever. And you think that Walmart's not trying to get that sale? You out your goddamn mind. Like, you tripping. And the government doesn't control business. So, like, even if, like, let's say, okay, so every post office, every post office, the buses, and, okay, and the water, okay, yeah, damn. That would be the only 3 things that the government actually would be able to truly change over to complete digital currency. So, like, maybe your cell phones if you guys had government cell phones, but who the fuck wants to do that? Yeah, no. Wow. The government doesn't, because all private businesses aren't owned by the government. So the government can't be like, you have to switch over digital currency. Yeah, no, we don't. We could take our production because all of Walmart's production is done in the U.S. They could be like, we just outsource this shit to China, which would basically kill the heartland work of America, and that would pretty much be the end of us. If Walmart and Target and like not Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and like Safeway, especially Safeway. I mean, Safeway can't because you know farmland, but like. Yeah, no, they was like, we're gonna pull out and start doing production in other countries. Ooh, boy. America will be like, yeah, no. Can't do that. And they were rejected. Yeah, unfortunately, Ford made us entirely dependent on the dollar. Insane.
Right.
All right. Genius.
Well, if you look at his lifetime and you only analyze that, you would say it was genius. Because he don't gotta deal with none of the bullshit. He got all the benefits and none of the bullshit. But it's about that time. You want to give us your final thoughts?
Okay. My final thoughts for today. Before I do that, I want to just say it's really good to be back. But 2 final thoughts. It is very important to remember that the end does not always justify the means. And yeah, you know, as they said in that one Tupac song, I made a D today. Yeah, but you made it in a sleazy way, selling dope to kids. Well, I got to get paid
Yeah. I ain't mad at you.
because that's the way it is. Yep, because that's the way it is.
Right.
So I ain't mad at you, bruh. I get it. We all, if it ain't you, they gonna buy it from somebody else.
Right. Right. You know, we gotta really lift up and change our situation as people. We also gotta understand, I think, the situation that we in, because it's a really ruthless and ridiculous situation to be in. And I don't know if anybody in the same situation could do better. You know what I'm saying?
I really don't, man.
I feel like we're just giving a shitty hand. It's like, play this card game, bro. Here's nothing good. Here is only bad cards. Like, all the cards in the game that have negative effects on you and your gameplay, here they are.
Yeah, it's like you got a hand and it's nothing but jokers.
Nothing but joke. Right? You're just like, all right, bro.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do with this.
Well, I guess I'm gonna get sacks. I guess I'm gonna make it work.
They're like, bro, how'd you get that ace? And I'm like, hey, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I had this ace the whole time. You gave me this ace.
Bad.
You know, my final thoughts are, man, free YSL, yo. Free YSL.
Free YSL.
Man, free all my niggas, man. Free all black people out of jail, period. We can deal with them ourselves, man. We'll deal with them.
Except for the super crazy psycho murderer.
I mean, you know, pedophiles, rapists, those niggas can stay. But everybody else, let them out, man.
And also, you gotta keep the psycho murderers.
Oh, yeah, psycho murderers, nah, them niggas can stay. But like I said, we will deal with them. You know what I'm saying? This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I thought about this case with Tory Lanez, right? I thought the nigga did this shit the whole time. I'm gonna just keep it all the way real, right? And I'm like, if Megan Thee Stallion was my daughter, Tory Lanez should be fucking happy to go to jail. All right? And that's all I'm gonna say, man. I'm just end it like that. We'll see y'all later, man. Y'all take care.
Oh my god!